Let's get you more on this significant visit with DD India's Jessica Taneja, who is covering it throughout the day. Jessica, good evening. He was just here for barely 3 hours, Sheikh Zayed Al Nahyan, but do you think, to your mind, it's an impressive list of outcomes when you look at it, considering the brief spell that he was here?
That's correct, and also pointed by the Foreign Secretary during the briefing that he came with a huge delegation that was here for looking at investments, especially in Gujarat's Dholera and other projects, and also increasing UAE's investment. But yes, the key outcomes certainly focused on the defense, strategic defense agreement or the letter of intent that is being looked into now. And with that, you could see a lot in the coming years as both now see a proper strategic partnership when it comes to the defense sector, and also looking at diversifying beyond energy trade. And currently, the trade between the two is quite significant. It's more than $100 billion. With India's significant imports are engineering goods, etc. Of course, from the UAE, we're importing energy. And talking about energy, there was also said that 0.5 million metric tons of LNG will now begin to inflow in India, say in 2028. So a lot of key outcomes.
And it's a long-term contract.
Yes, it's a long-term contract. And remember, the energy relationship that we've had with the UAE has been quite significant and strengthened over the years. Perhaps it is one of the most important partnerships in West Asia when it comes to India's relationship. And it has been a partnership that has steadily progressed. If you just go back to 2021, the trade between the two countries was limited to $63 billion, and I would say even less, and to now reaching $100 billion or more, and now the two discussing the trade to be at $200 billion by 2032. So these discussions do tend to signify that the relationship keeps moving in the upward direction, and also looking at diversifying their trade beyond the traditional sectors of cooperation, which is now going to be also AI, the focus on artificial intelligence and quantum computing, along with the nuclear sector. So there's a lot that was discussed in those few hours with the huge delegation visiting India.
So in the coming years, you feel that some of these pacts that are being inked today will be drivers of this enhanced doubling of trade as well by 2032?
Well, certainly would be. And you look at the Indian diaspora, about 4.3 million Indians there, and of course there's significant cultural ties as well, people-to-people ties, very important, a culture center being now set up in Abu Dhabi. So look at how the relationship is now expanding to multiple sectors, as I said, and also focusing on the people-to-people ties, because that is very essential in its own essence. And the two leaders now acknowledge that this is also something which they need to progress upon if trade simultaneously has to go on. The people-to-people ties, of course, the understanding certainly helps a long way between the two countries. And with high-level visits between the two, if you see, Prime Minister has also visited UAE quite a few times, and it has been an important partner in terms of engagement. Yeah, 7. And this is an important high-level visit as well. You saw him in the car and the discussions there. And of course, then the gifts that were presented to the President of UAE go on to signify that this relationship is more than just trade, and perhaps builds on those people-to-people ties and culture ties moving ahead if, it sustains the momentum it does, and many believe it will.
Yes, certainly. And he travelled with his family as well for this short trip. Thanks a lot for joining us, Taneja, talking about this vital partnership that India has with the UAE. More power to it in the coming years. Thanks.